Hello and welcome to Out of the Box on the Games Done Quick Hotfix. My name is the T-Tree and it's a sincere pleasure to have you here. This is the closest show that I'm going to have to March the 10th, so I thought I'd take the opportunity for it to be Mario Day. It's going to be both a paper Mario run and also we're going to open up with something that I think you're going to want to hold on to your seats for. It's going to be an all-star Mario Party 10 run of the Airship Central board with my good friend, OG Happy Dude. Happy Dude, how you doing today? All right, friends, we are just getting queued up for our run. I think there might be a couple of toads loose behind the house, so we're making sure that everyone is ready. The dice are not, in fact, weighted improperly. And in the meantime, I want to let everybody else know what all we have going on while we get the run started. First and foremost, we are super excited, and you will see later on tonight during Creature Corner lots of runs that are previews and other things related to the upcoming Frost Fatales, which will be live March 8th to the 14th, benefiting the National Women's Law Center. You can check out the full schedule at gdq.gg/schedule or use !FF in the chat to learn more. And of course, if you follow anyone even vaguely associated with Fatales on social medias, you'll probably see their really fantastic announcements there. I know the merch line has recently been announced for that, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm very curious to know why I've seen the proliferation of Faith, but what if she was from the 1980s in socials recently? So if you haven't seen that, go take a look. It's really fantastic. We also have PAX East. GDQ is returning there from March 26th to the 29th. I will be there. So if you are in the area or otherwise attending, please feel free to say hi. You can also visit east.paxsite.com to learn more about the show or use !PAX in the Twitch chat for more information, and stay tuned for the schedule coming out later this week. Should be very soon. We had a good time cooking that up. All right, the voice in my ear says it is time for, to finish celebrating the things that are soon to come and to get back to our party. My friends, Happy Dude, Blueheart, Nico, Dane, are you with us?
Yo, I'm going to try to be.
Good. That's as much as we can ask.
Since y'all didn't hear me mention this, the last time I was on Hotfix with Mario Party was 3 years ago, and I PB'd with Blueheart and Dangerous on the couch. So, yeah, I decided to make it like twice as chaotic by introducing Nico Hart.
Hi, I'm Nico.
You're the special introduction on this one. And introducing,
Yeah.
as though you haven't been around here before.
Nah, like first time always.
And the chaos is about to ensue now. So we are doing easy because the Discord call is going to be chaotic in itself.
Right.
I want some part of this run to be somewhat easy. So
he's not wrong.
Go over.
Yes, the Discord or the difficulty modifier is literally everything around the run.
Yes. So I'm hoping, that the last time that Dane and Blueheart were in the call with me for Mario Party 5, I PB'd. But this one has a little bit of a twist to it. I'm the current IL record holder for Airship Central, so if I PB, it's that much icing on the cake. Yeah.
Well, very cool.
I think I might have accidentally forgot to call for time.
Oh, okay. We've already started. Let's get to it then.
Oh yeah.
That's fine. We'll just add, I don't know, about 5-6 seconds to
-3, -4, -5.
Frame counters are my friend tonight.
tell us a little bit up front. Why the Mario Party series? What do different entries bring to the table? All that good stuff. Why? What do you like about Mario Party 10?
Well, Mario Party in general just seemed like a game to where it's like, oh, I wonder if this game can actually be speedrun. And Mario Party 5 has this actual full-blown story mode to it, and that's what actually got me hooked and had my attention from the beginning. It wasn't until about a year or so ago when I purchased my Wii U, I started diving into Mario Party 10 and other games for the console, and it's never the question of why, it's always why not, right?
No, that's fair. That's like, I definitely remember when you got your hands on a Wii U, you went into a couple of communities that I happened to also be in and said like, hey, I've got one of these now. What should I be looking out for? What should I try? And so naturally, since you had one and you already liked Mario Party speedruns, this had to go on the list, right?
Yeah, and then every other game that's not a Mario Party game is available on the Switch.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Okay, so new question. Why Mario Party and not Mario curled up at home with a good book?
Good question.
Ooh.
Because I am the most outgoing introvert you'll ever meet.
Okay, and we do have Mario RPG. We have Paper Mario later this evening, so wouldn't want to step on each other's toes. Although, gosh, I guess the closest thing to Mario at home with a good book is the edutainment games, isn't it? You could definitely speedrun typing.
Mario Teaches Type.
Exactly.
True story. Mario Teaches Typing was my very first Mario game.
No way.
That's awesome. I love it. Yeah, but no, if to the point that you can speedrun anything, if you haven't seen it before, or when this broadcast day is over, go look up Corvame's runs of the Pokemon typing game. It is something special. It has its own unique peripheral that goes along with the system.
Also, the one part about Mario Party 10 that's really cool is that on the Wii U gamepad, which it kind of sucks that I can't actually have a webcam hooked up to it. Bowser's trying to escape from jail.
I did see
Like
that
he always
at the
does,
beginning
right?
of our time here.
Same.
So what it is that for each side of the die, there is a corresponding lock attached to that side of the die. When you roll all of the sides of the die, that's when Bowser escapes and starts throwing around Bowser spaces, which makes the game very, very, very long.
Okay.
So if I get to the home stretch, which is the last third of the map, without releasing Bowser, then he remains locked in there and he does not escape for the rest of the board.
Okay. So rather than this being you play for X number of turns, this is actually more along the lines of there is a way this board plays out as you progress along it, and you're hoping
Yes.
for it. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure that's a differentiation between this and other Mario Party games that I understood off the top. So thank you for laying it out.
And there's also a version of every single mini game that I think, if memory serves me correctly, you have to get it on a Bowser square.
Ooh, okay. So there's a mini game and then there's an evil mini game.
Yeah, but the evil mini game, wow, I royally sucked on that one.
That didn't go the way you were hoping. I could tell.
Nope.
Peanut Gallery, is there any comments on that one?
Yeah, he bombed it. He definitely bombed it. But
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, I bombed it.
You bombed it,
Back to you,
yeah.
Happy.
Good. Well done.
That instead of coming in first, you win by coming in last.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
It's a reverse leaderboard.
Yeah, it's the it's a reverse. It's a legit reverse mini game.
little known fact about Mario Party 10, there were at least 9 Mario Parties before it.
That's actually not true. If you know how to count, you know that there's not 9 numbers before 10. Come on, Blue. Jeez.
You also have to remember Mario Party Gaiden and Mario. Well, look,
Mario Party Gaiden
I say it as a
is
joke,
wild.
but the fact of the matter is Mario Party Advance does exist and did come out before Mario Party 10. So as it led
Fair
I'm like,
enough,
wait a
fair
second, I
enough.
might actually be right here.
So
There
go
are
figure,
there are
I have
actually 3 other unnumbered Mario parties before Mario Party 10.
That's really funny. I didn't know that.
E-reader Mario Party cards, do those count?
Yep.
You know what's wild, actually? We never actually got the e-read. We never got the e-reader cards in the UK ever. It makes me so sad.
Oh, dang.
It kind of sucks right now because I completely forgot that these counting mini games existed, and I have y'all on the call.
Yeah, you've
7.
done
We
this to
can't
yourself,
help you. We
I'm
can only
afraid.
count to 4.
Yeah, I can only count to 4.
We can only count over. So I'm legit guessing on here because I'm never good at these anyway.
There were at least one Goomba.
There's one Goomba.
At
All right,
least
Goomba it
one.
is.
Yeah.
At least one. Okay.
Feels actually right.
Wrong one.
So wait, do you have to count the most? Oh, well, it's a bit.
Yeah, it's the most of
The most out of
one.
those 3.
Ah, okay.
Oh, and the only downside about this is that in order for this run to be valid, I have to win this board as well. So, here's hoping, right?
You got this.
I, in my mind, you gave Wario his one earlier with the Bob-omb thing. So I would say don't let up.
Ooh. Let me get a little mini game here if this will start.
All right, pull from the couch. Tell me about your history playing Mario Party. Any siblings, anything like that? People in the neighborhood you play with regularly?
I have played Mario Party 1 and 2 from when I was very young on the N64, and I haven't touched Mario Party since then. The last exposure to Mario Party I had was 3 years ago when I commentated for OG Happy Dude's run of Mario Party 5 on Mario Party 5, and he PB'd, and we never let him forget it.
True.
Nope. And I refused to run that game anymore until I'm actually able to bring it back to Hotfix and do it with the same people on the couch again.
I respect it. Blueheart, how about yourself?
I have played similarly. I think I've played like 1 and 2. Didn't touch it again for years, and then played let's say 8 with some of our local fighting game community here in Memphis.
Well, Mario Party is in general just a fighting game by itself because you will get into a fight with the people you're playing with.
It's basically Monopoly.
Yeah, basically.
So someone actually said it best. It's like you're either powerful enough for you to keep friendships after a Mario Party game, or you're powerful enough to go visit family every other weekend.
Insert Spider-Man quotes here.
With great rolls come great speedruns?
Something like that, yeah.
You're putting down, my bad.
I think that's exactly what Spider-Man said.
As
think
Norman
that's
Osborn once
the
said,
quote.
I'm something of a Mario Party speedrunner myself. And how about you, Nico? I don't think we heard from you about your history with the franchise.
So same for these guys as well. Like Mario Party 1, 2. I think I played 4 and 5. I was my neighborhood champion at the Thwomp smashing the hammer minigame, where like I was really fast, really good at it. I busted my thumb quite a lot as a kid, just like matching the controller. So that's my experience. And then recently it was Jamboree, which was a bit of a like mad throwback, basically. So that was fun. Yeah, I haven't really touched it a lot recently, so it's still like it's a blast of the past classic, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this game is technically also in that oeuvre since it's on the Wii U, which is now a classic console, being more than 10 years old.
Oh, don't say that.
This game turns 11 next week, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Oh man.
I don't like you anymore. Can I just rage quit?
I appreciate that T3 did the research to find that out.
Yeah, I mean, and that's part of why I wanted to have Mario Party 10 on in particular. It's one where people have the affinity for the franchise, they have the experiences they have, but what percentage of the couch and the audience will have actually played this particular Mario Party? I think it's real cool to show off how franchises like this, which have such long legs, evolve over time. Like we have a Bomberman mini boss battle happening here, basically.
Long legs like Waluigi. Wow.
You're not wrong. So what is the point
I'm really
of this mini boss battle here? What's the mechanics? What are we doing?
You go through this maze, and then if you're the first one at the end, you get 4 points, and you hit Bonnie Mole with a
Bigger cannon, I see.
Bigger cannon. Therefore, you get more points.
Ooh, that was close.
Ooh.
Yeah. Although we did have that's never happened before. When I got caught in the maze, you lose for everyone who gets caught in the maze after the timer is over. You lose a single point.
Well, thank goodness you didn't lose 2 points because you won that mini game by exactly 1.
I have a question.
So,
why are you playing as Waluigi?
For the memes.
Okay.
The most valid
There's
reason.
not really. I don't think there's a time advantage to this because there's not a time advantage in any other Mario Party. So I'm assuming there isn't one here either.
Nope.
I was gonna say, Nico, were you expecting a more profound answer?
Probably like it's something like, he's taller so he runs faster.
Okay. See, I would have expected
There's
something along
logic.
the lines of, I personal affinity. I have a history of playing as he's who I always played as in all the spin-off games, something like that. But no, just me.
Just tall man.
Well, that does lead into another question. What's everyone's favorite musical?
Oh God.
Sound of music? I don't know.
Okay. Everybody else go first. Blue Heart,
Probably at this point, Epic the musical.
excellent choice.
Okay.
Happy dude.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a musical that has wah in it.
I already got there. That's why I want to go last. Dane, what have you got?
All right.
Oh, mine is Les Miserables.
Oh my god.
and mine, of course, was going to be the Phantom of the Opera.
Nice.
I mean, the Sound of Music is just basically a load of wahs all the way through.
You're not wrong.
Odysseus
Wow,
says,
wow.
Odysseus says,
Thank you all
what
for
a
coming
lot
to our
in.
auditions for musical tryout today. I regret to inform you that we won't be taking any of you.
Oh,
Probably the best choice. Probably the smart choice on that one.
Real quick, on this particular stretch, if you land on something with a crosshair on it, shout out to crosshair, you lose half of your stars. And if Bowser was to be released before this point, and you land on a Bowser space, you lose half when you get hit with it. Then the space activates.
Okay.
Then you go to a Bowser roulette, and then you have potential to lose half of your half. So you have potential to lose 75% of your entire star count.
It's good to know that Mario Party is still Mario Party. By the way, say goodbye to half of your... It was a good total, and now it's not.
it was nice.
Yeah.
Bye, nice.
And also, one thing that I forgot to point out in the beginning. If you have an issue with trying to attach your sensor bar to something, play 1v1 when you do these runs, because you'll only need the sensor bar for four-player free-for-all matches.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. Ask me how I know.
Like somebody asked me
I
to
actually-
do something completely unrelated.
How do you know this, Happy Dude?
Oh, okay. You had to ask. Well,
See, I was trying to brain
the gear started to
brain the words to come out through my mouth. I was trying to brain the words to come out through my mouth and I ended up losing. Thanks, Dane.
Is that not what you brought him here
how
for?
I know that, and so I asked you. Excuse me.
I'm
for
fully
leaving.
aware. Wow.
Dang. I feel like that might be one of the more severe things that's been said on this show so far. So it's a good precedent.
I hope he takes another turn. I really hope he does.
Well, let's see it. Looks like
Thank
it.
you. Okay.
Is it because there are a bunch of targets on the upcoming spaces? Oh, it's because it's
So there's
Ooh.
so he had a special loaded undie, looked like. Only
Yeah.
0 or 1.
It's, 0-1. So I need a no 1, no 4, no 1, no 4, no 1, no 4.
Nice.
That'll do.
All right, I'll take it.
And it won't get you the bonus stars from being the one to cross.
Oh, and Bowser's out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, this is where the fun begins.
Yep.
It's true. If the first 15 minutes haven't been chaotic enough for you,
Jailbreak.
it's Bowser time.
Now it's time for the chaos in the game.
Fine, you weren't using those stars for anything anyway.
Yeah. They were just weighing you
Historically,
down.
Mario parties have been games where, like, especially if you're playing by yourself, going around a board, you can kind of manipulate your own position around the board to be able to do like little loops around sections of the board to be waiting for stars. Obviously, in a more like straight line progression run like this, you can't account for that.
I do like how you jinxed yourself saying like, oh yeah, the Bowser stuff could happen.
Right. The run,
Yeah.
you have to win for the run to be valid, and
Oh, yeah.
That's the
Just
problem
don't
with
win
talking
yourself.
sometimes.
I'd rather battle for half of mine.
or give 10 to last place because that would have been you.
Okay.
Didn't you mention
reverse
about the
minigame?
reverse mini
Yeah,
games?
you get to lose.
Yeah. I get to lose on purpose.
Nice.
You get to, as the streamers say, throw for content.
Wow. Not wrong.
Oh, okay. So all I have to do is repeat the same thing that last time I played this game, and we should be good
I'm
for 20
waiting
stars.
for the instant replay from our producer when you ace this mini game and blow them all up at once.
All right, I'm just gonna lob it all the way over here.
So you don't want to be da bomb.
Right.
Hey.
Want to make sure you bomb this one again.
Can you just not throw? Does that also count?
It's not even
Okay, no,
letting
it
me
leaves your hand.
Okay.
Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
Don't do this to me.
Oh, no.
Oh my god. And wait,
You got
Which
meme,
tag?
dude. Oh my god.
Oh, my.
Oh, 21.
Bad news. I feel like that might have
Incredible.
been a bit of a time loss.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
See, here's the thing. Like, I was going to stick it all the way up in
Wait,
the
did he
corner.
just get one? Oh my god!
The joke's right themselves.
Unreal.
I'm genuinely lightheaded right now.
That is unreal RNG.
You like
Y'all have
basically you
no
played someone
idea.
in what is it hearts, where you if you shoot the moon by getting all the points you get a 0 instead and win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wario just shot the moon on you.
That was an explosive minigame.
And there's the instant replay.
Oh.
I think you might have set your
Shout
fuse a
outs-
bit too short, Happy Dude.
Yeah, by the way, shout out to our producer Richard for just knowing when to hit the button. Like all the
Always being
time.
on top.
Always knows when to hit the button.
All right, so Happy Dude, knowing how the last stretch just went, what would you like to happen next?
I need for Wario to just hit every single Bowser space and hope for the best. We got one more boss battle, and we have one boss battle. We have one mini boss, so I'm hoping that. I get last hit on both because you get bonus stars for last hit. So
He's going to get 10 from passing this boundary. We were hoping he'd land on the Bowser space to lose half of them again. Hey, if nothing else, this is a really good, like, substantive. There is something to the kind of Zen art of speedrunning where you know that not every run you put out there is going to finish, is going to have the time you want, is going to happen exactly the way you're hoping it will. So sometimes you just put it out there to have fun, to gain more experience.
What is RNG for 500?
Indeed.
Actually, that is a question. Then, like, how much of this run is RNG versus like having to know what to do? And because you're literally dice rolling for so much of the run.
I feel like the answer is yes.
yes, like a good portion of this run is just knowing the mini games and knowing the bosses. The other half is just strictly dice rolls, RNG. There's really not much manipulation to it. Unlike Mario Party 5, where you can I think either 5 or 4, where you can say a number into the GameCube microphone and you'll automatically roll that on the die.
Wait, no way.
Yeah. I just need to remember which GameCube Mario Party it is.
All right. Here's
But
your
it's
chance.
Pretty much anything but a 1.
I think he just needs to roll onto a space that does an attack of more than 1 or more than 2. Yep. This will do nicely.
Hey,
GG.
We're doing this thing.
Mario
folks.
lost.
let's go.
Mario lost 30 stars there too.
Yeah, chat confirmed. Chat both saying, "Wait, what? That's unbelievable," and saying, "Yeah, that would be Mario Party 5 since 4 is pre-microphone." Unbelievable.
I'm still thinking back to the days where microphones on consoles were like the top tier of gaming.
Yeah.
Was it Caution Seaman being the best one, I think?
As far as actually,
No, it was Hey You Pikachu.
I mean, true, but come on. Who wouldn't want Leonard Nimoy, dissing you in a fish tank? Come on.
I was also thinking of Pokemon with the on the DS Chatot. You can record your voice for Chatot.
Shoutouts,
Record your voice for Chatot.
shoutouts, by the way, to that
In,
propeller spinning the wrong way. That's the best. I am losing my mind staring at this.
look, that's why it has wheels. It's not actually aerodynamic. It's just for show. True. It falls with style, just like Buzz Lightyear.
Now I want to see Waluigi in a Buzz Lightyear costume. I don't know why.
All right. Well,
The
artists
internet
in
can
the
make that
GDQ
happen.
Community.
Go for it.
Feel free to disregard what just got put out there if it's too cursed for your tastes. But
I'm wowing with style.
Thank you for the follow-up.
all right, so we already asked Happy Dude what he'd like to have happen over the course of the rest of this run. Let's go around the rest of the horn.
Oh
Dave,
no.
what do you want to happen between now and the end of the run?
Curses. So many curses. More curses than a Dark Souls game.
I'm going to assume you mean the magical kind. Nico, how about you?
No.
More reactions like that.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah.
Those seem like they may be in the cards. And Blue Heart, what are you looking forward to or hoping will happen over the rest of the run?
Absolute chaos.
I think we can make that work for you. All right, we've got a selector guy.
There's a
looks like.
massive amount of.
And we're back.
Hey, you're back first
Back to
now.
winning.
No.
And we're on.
Now we
No.
Bowser Square ourselves.
Oh, no.
Wait, let's see. It's not necessarily getting halved.
Bowser Resolution. Bowser Revolution. Crap.
Bowser Revolution takes the total number of stars and splits them back to equal numbers, right?
Right. And then if there's an odd number, the player who hit it got the extra bonus star.
I blame Dr. Eggman.
On franchise?
I mean, he is known for having an airship, but the rest of it I'm having a hard time putting together.
I honestly feel that.
Wait.
Wait.
Oh.
Not over yet.
Roll a one. Roll a one. Roll a one. Roll a one.
Oh,
Wait, does he get more stars for going backwards to them?
Oh my
He
God.
does.
Perfect.
okay, there we go. That's
Bowser
more.
space himself, though. Oh, that doesn't take effect, though?
Oh, it was.
Oh, really?
Was it the one that was already
Wow.
activated?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was already activated.
Oh, my goodness.
I think she'll get some stars here,
I
but
think that puts you also on a Bowser space, because I think there was another one before the one that he landed on.
Yep.
Jesus. Those
Well,
funny
maybe this one will
GDQ
go
luck.
well. We don't know.
Come on, Revolution. Oh, okay.
Oh my
That's
God.
so many stars.
The one that was already activated?
What? No way.
I mean, granted, he just means he goes away, because he's afraid of ever having to do this.
Oh, just watch.
Oh,
just
yeah,
watch.
sure.
One. What a
The other
troll.
9,999. Dang.
Oh, you don't get him.
That's called interest.
He only had enough for one.
Look, your star total went up. That's still possibly the best thing that could have happened as a result of that turn.
It's true.
Look,
This is another.
he gets 10 for that. I have to make up 35 stars in one boss fight and 2 bonus stars.
All right, then.
Easy. Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it, he says.
Why aren't you doing it? Do
Okay.
it.
Just do it. Yeah, I'm surprised it's not already done.
The remaining 9,999 will be in your PO box within 2 weeks.
Yeah. Check your pager for an exciting opportunity to win 9,999 stars. You might have to
It's
check
fine.
your spam folder.
I have a friend that's sending them over. He's a Nigerian prince, so
Sweet. Wait, you got those emails too?
I mean,
I
worry you
appreciate
suck.
the chatter who came in asking, "Are we winning?" Because that's a question in this run with an actual answer. And the answer is still working on it.
Maybe.
we're
We'll
hoping.
get back to you in about 3 business days.
For about 8 business minutes.
Yeah, true.
This is something to where we can honestly say that, you know, the typical response was between 7 to 10 business weeks.
That's been generous.
bonsai.
Everyone very excited about this Cuphead DLC crossover. So I don't know if the ability, well, no, I suppose the ability to go tiny would actually help you. And they do have tiny forms of most of the Mario characters, so it's not entirely out of the question.
Yeah, where's the mini mush?
We finally got some points. My goodness.
Oh,
But I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Happy Dude, I don't think the points in this game are a one-to-one sort of thing.
nope. So whoever gets last hit gets 5 bonus points within the mini game, and then winner gets 15. So that'll cut me down to at least 5 going into bonus stars.
You don't get a bonus for like totally blanking him. I feel like Mario Party's the kind of vindictive game that would do something like that.
So I think if memory serves me correctly, there's 2 bonus stars. So you get 2 out of a possible 5.
So,
If memory serves me right.
so here's the part that that normally ends a lot of friendships because
Move space. How do we move less space?
Just be-
Did it count the backwards against him?
Possible.
Oh, that actually counts towards that.
Okay.
Wow.
And he wins by like 5, but I'll call for time anyway.
I like that the two
This was on easy
the 2
too.
stars had to be diametrically opposed.
what are you talking about? We were here.
And time.
GG.
I think
You are a
the winners
superstar.
for everyone hearing this call and everyone watching. Thank you so much for being
The
part
real
of
stars are
this
the friends
absolute
we made
goofiness.
along the way.
And, Happy Dude, you are definitely the superstar for all of us here.
Oh,
Appreciate you being
I
on.
guess? Question mark?
Look, we were talking before we got started on this about runbacks and your feelings on them, and see if maybe that hasn't changed after this run.
Oh no, I'm definitely submitting this for every single show possible. I want this run back, and I want actually this to be a verified run because damn those Bowser spaces.
Yep. Look, Mario Party is just going to Mario Party. I think everyone here showed up tonight expecting the game to do what it does, and it sure did.
Yep, it did.
In the meantime, between now and the next time we see you on the Hotfix channel, where can people find you?
You can catch me everywhere. YouTube, Blue Sky, Twitch, OG Happy Dude. The OG stands for old guy. And so in upcoming streams and weeks and whatnot, I will not be playing Mario Party. I will be wrapping up Pokemon Fire Red, which got re-released on Virtual Console last week, and not a part of the Virtual Console. I need to be specific with that. But the re-release on the Switch. So, I don't have a set schedule, but follow me and turn on notifications to hang out with me when I'm live.
Awesome. And on down the line, Nico Hart, how about yourself?
Hi, I'm Nico. I play video games. I'm going to be playing Slay the Spire 2. It's coming out like tomorrow. I'm excited for that. So yeah, find me on the Twitch things. Hi.
Yeah, if you want more things to watch while you're playing through Resident Evil Requiem or whatever you have on your plate right now. Blueheart, where can the people find you?
Hi, I'm Blueheart. I can be found more often on TikTok more recently. I do TikTok live streams where I've been mostly playing Kaizo Ironmon. I've been subjecting myself to that. But with Pokopia releasing, I will be shifting over to that a little bit more often. And I'm also planning on making a return to Twitch here very soon.
Very cool. Yeah, definitely look forward to that. And drop Blueheart a follow if you enjoy the chaos that he injected into this run. Dane, I know a few places where the people can find you, but far be it from me to steal your spotlight. Tell them about it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, if you want to see me, I am also one of the GDQ Hotfix hosts. You can find me on the opposite week, same day, same time, opposite week as Out of the Box. I host Crosshair, the show that features runs with bullets. So Teacher and I are... we interchange our weeks at the same date and time here on the channel.
We are ships passing in the night, such as it were.
We are. We should call ourselves mirrored show buddies,
something like that,
or something like that. Yeah. But you can also find me at my own channel. I stream a lot of sweaty Soulsborne stuff and FPS speedruns, amongst speedruns of other things here and there. And yeah, right now I'm working on a lot of Souls randomizers. So if you like that stuff, you can come check me out there.
Awesome.
So sweaty, Dane.
Look, it's not really by choice. That's just kind of the nature of playing a Souls game for a crowd. Welcome back to Out of the Box on the Games Done Quick Hotfix. My name is the Tea Tree, and I hope if you had joined us earlier, you enjoyed all the chaos in that Mario Party 10 speedrun from OG Happy Dude. This is my little mini Mario or Mar 10 celebration, since this is the closest show that I'll have to March the 10th. And as Mario is a man of many jobs and talents over the years, I thought we'd have a great opportunity to show off another extremely talented runner speedrunning another fantastic Mario game. This is Paper Mario Any Percent No Ace from JCog. JCog, let's get to it.
All right, well, we're just going to go ahead and start it away. I got kind of a long intro. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
So hi, everybody. I'm JCog, and we are going to be running Paper Mario Any Percent No Ace. I'll explain that in a second. Also have Morph here.
Hello. How's it going, everyone?
Okay, so the goal of this category, this is previously the run that was any percent, and then we found arbitrary code execution in this game, which, to avoid getting too far in the weeds, basically you run Mario's coordinates as code and warp to the end of the game. We are not doing that. This is beating the game as fast as possible without literally writing your own code.
Yeah, without the debug cursor that picks Mario up and carries him across the game to the.
Yeah, pretty much. So if you've never seen a Paper Mario speedrun before, start off with prologue. Things start off a little bit slow and then pick up as they go. So here, first thing I'll be doing is, you'll see the fastest form of movement in this game is to spin. You press Z and you can spin. And to avoid a bit of end lag at the end of it, I'll be jumping out of it. Or also ledges and stairs like that will stop the spin in its tracks, so I can immediately spin again. All right, so I'll just be making my way up to Bowser here.
You have to do that same tech on all versions.
It's the same on all of them. Yeah, on every single version, the game functions pretty much the same. But
okay, yeah, that's what I thought, and then part of why I was interested in having this on, knowing that you run primarily the N64 version and the different categories there, but that the game is similar enough outside of a couple eccentricities with particular fights.
Right. Yeah. So I'm playing this on the N64 version, which technically isn't the fastest version. That would be, I believe Wii U and Switch are pretty much identical. But this is the one by far that controls the best. It's a different grab bag with different versions of different issues that they all have their idiosyncrasies.
Sure.
But this one is the one that the community, for the most part, competes on. We have it like separated by console on the leaderboard, so we don't have to worry too much about this console's faster, so we have to use that one.
Yeah, no, they're
nice.
very well maintained and thoughtful leaderboards that seem like they give everybody the opportunity to play the way that they want to, and put up a good time on a leaderboard. It doesn't have to compare with a version with an unfair advantage.
Right, exactly. All right, and so right now I'm in the first fight of the game. We will be losing. It's a scripted fight. And we also are pretty limited in what we have. We don't have action commands yet. Won't get those until the end of prologue. And so a little bit of speed tech here. I'll mash A through the menus, but then whenever I get to my jump, I am actually mashing A right as Mario goes to crouch. You'll see that in a second here whenever I move again. And that saves, it changes depending on the enemy, but you can see that short crouch just cancels I think it's 8 to 16 frames depending on the fight, something like that, something in that ballpark.
I didn't know it could go to 16. I thought it was 10.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We only just realized for the longest time we had just been, I don't know where the information came from, but we had been oh yeah, it's 10 frames in every one. And then we just, within the last few months, we're that's not actually true.
It's a time loss, and it just gets worse from there.
Yeah. Yep. So for now, I can just mash through those. Eventually, when I get action commands, I will have to time it. Otherwise, it will mess up the timing. But we're doing what we can here in the beginning.
Sure. Well, while we have the time, if you all want to talk about your history with this series, this game in particular, different categories you run. I know Morph was on Do All the Things just recently for an all bosses run.
True. Yeah. I didn't get a chance to watch that run, but I heard that it went pretty well.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. I had some mishaps with one fight, but it's so hard. It's so easy to get lost reading her out. That's half just battles. Such a long category.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the longer categories, the routes get a lot more complicated. This one is, if you've never seen a speedrun of this game before, it will probably seem wild, but relative to other categories, it's fairly straightforward, just beelining the end of the game.
Yeah, this is the only category that does not beat a chapter fully at all.
Yeah, except for chapter 8, but
Yeah.
the very last one.
This isn't the show Make Your Own Victory where speedruns don't have to beat the game. We do at least do that part.
We do make it to the credits in this one. But yeah, I've been running this game for about a little bit over 8 years now, I think. So been at it a while. I've done all the categories at one time or another. Probably all cards is the one. I don't know. It's hard to judge which one I've put the most time into, but that's probably my guess. But this one as well. And I'll also be running a route today. So if I'm going for a PB, I use a route that is much more risky. You've got like, I don't know, it depends on the exact route, but something in the like 10 to 20% chance of actually finishing, even if you play perfectly. This one has a guaranteed finish.
Yeah, we were just talking about during our Mario Party run that sometimes you just have to put a run out there because you want to do it, not because you are angling for a specific result.
Yeah, for sure.
How about you,
All right,
Morgan?
so
what's your history with Paper Mario and the series in general?
So I've been speedrunning this game since late 2020.
Okay.
On and off. I consistently grinded it until like 2022, and I took a pretty long break, honestly. And then I've only come back recently, like this past January. So I probably only have like 2.5 or 3 years total speedrunning this, but this is probably by far my most ran category in this game. This and like glitchless or all cards would come like right behind it. I say right behind it as if it's not like eclipsed by like hundreds of attempts in this run alone.
Sure. Yeah, you would say whether you go by like number of hours, number of attempts, number of completed attempts, they're all different metrics.
Yeah.
That you could throw around, I'm sure.
But something about this run just like really clicks in my brain, even though it doesn't beat any of the chapter bosses besides Bowser at the end. Spoilers. I don't know. Something about it is just really fast. You get to the end of the game really quickly, like jarringly fast. It's really cool to me.
Yeah, and one of the reasons that we get there so quickly is we got our first trick of the run coming up. This is Junior Skip, kind of going from 0 to 100 here. So normally you're supposed to fight Junior Troopa here, but I am going to be doing a bunch of frame perfect jumps in a row to make it to the bush where the hammer is and then immediately leave the room.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Paper Mario speedrunning before, frame perfect jumps are an art form that this game does some real special stuff with.
Yeah, frame perfect is a term you'll be hearing a lot this run. All right.
Yeah, and if J-Cog wants to get like good jumps, like full distance jumps here, she's going to be wanting to press the stick and the A button on the same frame. You can press the stick forward on a later frame, but you won't go nearly as far. It's very difficult.
Getting those early nerves out.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, this trick is a very like kind of whiplash kind of thing because everything leading up to this trick is kind of just hold B. J-Cog's been holding B the whole time to mash text. So there's not really much of anything going on, and then you have to do one of the harder tricks in the run, I would say.
Yep, and then it's back to just normal movement.
Well, since we got some time now that you've gotten the first skip taken care of, we got a question from the chat. If y'all are up for it, what is each of your
go for it.
favorite category? Is it this one? Is there something that you like about various different categories that you want to talk about?
I change my mind all the time. I feel like my favorite category is whichever one I'm running at the time.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
But probably, and I think I mentioned this earlier, probably all cards is the one, which is like the all chapters category. It's probably my favorite. I feel like it has the best pacing, especially like through the middle. It's very light on the cutscenes and just lots of gameplay.
I want to say maybe this category is my favorite because I just come back to this all the time, this run. But I think all cards is really cool. I've been recently doing runs of that right now. But I also have like a soft spot for glitchless. That was my first just speedrun ever. It's a really fun category in this game. It's hard to say.
Yeah,
But
glitches
probably
gets
this one.
a lot of people into the game. But you also have to deal with spook in that category, which is it's hard. Also, I'm going to be saving religiously throughout this run because I don't want anything to go poorly and lose a million years. So
I was gonna say, when the game
Savings-
gives you a backup system called saving, you take those backups.
exactly, and it takes like a couple seconds. It's fine.
Especially for these 2 rooms that J-Cog's doing. These are very not easy.
Yeah, like I almost encountered that. Like I went below the Spike Goomba there. Usually you go above, and I was just like, I think I have enough space, and I did, but barely. So
So one of the things with the early game routing is we're getting a lot of money right now to buy a badge later. And if we get encountered at all, Mario has a tendency to just drop all of his coins.
yeah,
And it's really bad. And because J-Cog also does not have action commands at this point, her runaway from an encounter right now is also not guaranteed.
yeah, it's more. I don't know the exact odds. It's more likely than not you'll get away, but you can just get screwed. And also right here for this fight, so I damaged both of them down to have 3 HP, like each of them to have 3 HP left, so I can take them both out with the Fire Flower there. And you do lose a little bit of time doing that to them getting to attack more. But the benefit is that usually whenever one of them dies, the other one kind of like cries out like, "Oh no, my brother!" So killing them both.
You skip the complaining, because as we all know in life, as in speedrunning, complaining loses time.
It's true, it does.
Yeah, and that first battle there with the Goomba Bros highlighted something that's pretty interesting about this run is items. Items are pretty good for Mario in this run. Other categories will end up getting more badges, so Mario doesn't really need to rely on them as much, but we're going to be pretty under-leveled and under-equipped for this run.
Yeah, we'll be a little bit higher than you would usually see in this category. We will go out of our way a little bit when we get to Chapter 8 to fight a couple of enemies for some extra levels. But optimally, this category finishes at level 4.
Oh, wow.
I believe you enter Chapter 8 at level 2. Actually, we'll still be entering Chapter 8 at level 2.
It's one of the things that I respect in a vacuum most about RPG runs, is especially any percent categories and ones that don't play more of the game as intended necessarily. The way you have to work around those limitations, the really, really smart routing of things like steps in games with random encounters and items and money and all of that. Like, as much as the way that you two have been talking about this so far is like, oh yeah, no, I just really vibe with this category. It's like, it's not necessarily all vibes. There's a lot of stuff in the background that I reckon you're keeping track of at this point.
Oh yeah, luckily all the routing's done beforehand, so I'm just like I have a route up, and I have it mostly memorized at this point.
Sure.
But the routing goes crazy for this game.
It is very consistent. Like, just planning out a run for this game. Like, if you just follow the steps, like, the route will just work. Like, there's nothing that's unaccounted for.
Right.
It's very good in that regard.
Yeah, shout outs to the routers. I've done like a little bit of routing, but it's definitely not. Definitely other people. I'm using the work of the community for the most part.
Pretty much same.
Yeah.
I do not have the brains for it. I rerouted no Peach Warp to save like 10 seconds on one item usage, and then Seed Dupe got found, so it was immediately obsolete.
Yep. A little over 3 years ago, and we'll be getting to that run. Literally the biggest trick that's been found in this game since I've been running it in 8 years lets us skip having to beat Chapter 5 because we used to in this category. Also lets us skip Paracarry. We will not be getting all the partners. We'll be skipping 3 of them, I believe.
Yeah.
Dang. Sorry to the fans of the partners out there in the audience.
Yeah, if we've got any Paracarry, Bow, or
Watt
Watt fans out there, I'm very sorry. We'll see them in the epilogue.
07's in the chat. Yeah, no, they were there helping us all along. You just didn't see them.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paracarry is the newest victim added to the skipped partner list. That is very recent, relatively. Just because of new findings.
Yep. Yeah, and like as for what I'm doing right now, things are still, fairly. There's not a whole lot going on in Prologue. We're just, making our way through. Currently on our way to Shooting Star Summit, where I will be getting action commands finally. That'll let me do extra damage in fights as well as block attacks. Technically, it's possible to skip. Like I could skip it right now and save like 5 minutes, something in that ballpark, and then lose all of that and more to the rest of the game. So,
yeah, that's part of the nature of routing. Even in parts where the games give you multiple options, once you route something new in, you kind of have to feel out the ripple effect that has across the entire rest of the game. And, credit to a very active community. I imagine the Paper Mario community has done the legwork to figure all of that out. Every time there's a new thing found, it's like, well, does this actually make it faster all the way along? Or is it just for, these categories? And I'm sure all of that's into routing documents and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also have, I'll go ahead and shout out Paper Mario Archives now. I believe it's papermarioarchives.com, which is where the best source of where we have all of our like glitch explanations and routing and everything. Like that's where I go to, like if there's a trick that I haven't done before and I need to learn, like that's where I go. Shout out to Ari, they put that together. Very, very good resource.
It's what I go to right now every time I boot up doing runs and just need the route in my face.
Yep.
That rules. Yeah, shout out to people who appreciate the need for resources in places other than a Discord hidden in a channel somewhere in a thread. And
yeah. It's nice, like just having it as a website that you can just go to.
For sure.
Yeah. So just look, we're almost to the end of Prologue. We're getting there. This is the last like super long cutscene, but. Yeah, lots of, luckily for text in this game, one of the best things about running this game is that like I'm just holding the B button right now. The optimal way to advance text is just hold B. Even mashing A like frame perfectly is still slower. B actually speeds up the text.
Oh, nice.
So nice. Oh, also, I haven't mentioned this. If you're familiar with speedruns, this probably isn't a surprise, but I'm playing on the Japanese version of the game. It's the earliest, it was the first version that came out, so it both has version-exclusive glitches, and also Japanese is just like, a more concise language, fewer characters. And also, in addition to that, there's like an internal speed for how fast the text advances, and for whatever reason, the Japanese version has that set to the fastest. From English on, they actually slowed down the text. So,
yeah, that I didn't know until like last month.
Yeah, I didn't know it until at some point last year, I think, or I don't know. So at some point, I think I found out from Rando. This game also has a randomizer. Very fun if you are looking for an excuse to play this game again, but don't want to play the vanilla game. All right, so I have action commands now, which means that I can time my button inputs and get extra damage or like an extra attack. Also going to be saving my FP here. I'm gonna need that 3 FP that I have a little bit later. So instead of doing 2 power jumps, I'm gonna do an extra attack with Goombario and then a regular jump with Mario. All right, and then we've got the next trick, the final trick of Prologue coming up here. This is Black Toad Skip. So normally you have to reveal that the toads blocking your exit are actually the Koopa Trolls, but we are just gonna clip behind them using our first instance of out of bounds in this game. And Morph, can you actually explain what's going on here?
So we're gonna wait for this green toad. He's going to be moving back and forth. Hopefully he's not. He's just in the right spot immediately. But we're going to use this toad when he stands still. We're going to use him to wedge Mario in between the collision and just hammer clip out of bounds.
I think I blocked him.
And it's a little finicky because you have to spin into this guy and then hammer. You have about like 2 frames if he's standing still, 1 frame if he starts moving away. But now we're out of bounds, and out of bounds is a whole other thing. It's really weird. But basically, when you go down, you come back straight up, and we can use that to maneuver around out of bounds and land on the seam, and then fall back out of bounds to land behind the load zone.
If you didn't know Mario could void out before, you do now. Not just in the 3D games.
Also did a little fancy thing. One of the more recent tricks that I've learned, it did a little fancy thing. Usually items come out of blocks opposite of the direction that you're facing. And so I just did a little... I have to count, sorry.
Honestly, same. Counting's hard.
It is. It really is, though. And that's, a time block, so I have to actually get all of the coins. But yeah, so I basically... Honestly, I forget how it works. I just remember the inputs. Something about storing my direction, the buffered spin, I genuinely don't remember.
It's probably something like with Mario's internal angle that gets stored with that reverse movement. It's weird. I haven't learned it yet either.
It looks a lot harder than it... Well, it doesn't look a lot. It looks really funky. But,
yeah.
It works. I remember the first time I saw it, I'm just like, what is happening there?
It looks like it defies game logic almost, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly.
Makes me think of some of the other things that you can, store up and do differently in Mario games. Now I'm thinking about how few A presses you could complete Paper Mario in.
I've thought of it. That's been like at the back of my mind for the last few months. Is like doing it RTA. I don't think would be. I don't know.
No, I can imagine. More of a proof of concept sort of thing.
Yeah, but like as a task, that's like a really interesting problem to solve. I mean, as is common in games, right. There's a reason.
I think it'd be a fun cross-contamination of different ideas from different Mario games.
Yeah. Get our own A button challenge.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I am in the process of getting Cooper here. Technically, he's not. Optimally, you skip him with one of the hardest tricks that exists in the game that is RTA viable. I will not be doing that. Also, we didn't get a great pattern. It's an okay pattern.
1-4-1.
Yeah. It's not as bad as 4-1-4, but...
Yeah. Lots of back and forth.
Yeah. All right. But Cooper, we honestly don't use him that much throughout the run. Just a few spots where, we need his ability.
Yeah. In this run, he's not... Even if you do get him, he's not super usable. He's definitely become a rising star in recent years.
Yeah, other categories...
Compared to other partners.
Yeah, other categories, we get him Dizzy Shell, and that ends up being really useful. He is actually, useful in this fight at least. These fuzzies all have 3 HP. We can just use the POW block there, and then untime his action command to deal the rest of the damage. But yeah, in other categories, Dizzy Shell lets you stun even a lot of bosses, and just the way that the game's programmed to calculate the RNG, it has a higher chance of working than a lot of other similar moves, notably a lot better than Power Shock from Watt. Also picking up HP plus there. We won't be using that until Chapter 8, but that'll give me plus 5 HP or 3 BP later on, which will be useful for, again, reasons that'll be easier to explain then. Oh, that was a bad coin.
But yeah, Cooper in this category is interesting because the only reason you need to get Cooper at all is if you were to beat Chapter 7, like going through Crystal Palace and fighting the Crystal King, but we're not going to be doing that. But it gets rid of having to do this really, really difficult LZS across this room here to avoid pressing this switch on the way in.
Yep.
And tell us what an LZS is. I don't think we've heard that acronym before.
Oh, I don't think we properly... We talked about it a little bit with
Junior Skip.
Junior Skip.
Yeah.
It was the same idea. But basically, whenever you go into a loading zone in this game, It's instantly stored as soon as you are above it, but you won't actually take the loading zone until you've been on the ground for 2 frames. And so what we do is we chain together frame perfect jumps, only being on the ground for 1 frame. And we can do a whole bunch of that. We'll be seeing it later in the run. I believe, just one more time.
Yeah.
And so the first time we used it to interact with the bush and then leave without triggering the junior fight. Later we'll be using it to actually get out of bounds in a different room. But I'll explain.
There is an instance of it coming up shortly, but it's not properly LZS jumps, but it does do loading zone storage.
Yes.
We'll get to that in a minute. But for right now, we're going through Chapter 1, getting through Koopa Bros Fortress. A lot of this category comes down to just dipping into chapters, getting a thing or two, and leaving. And right now, we're in the process of getting our 3rd partner, Bombat.
Yeah. Also,
sorry, go ahead, Jake.
grabbing. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
One of the things I was going to say is the way that Morpheus described that dipping in and out of chapters, and I don't know that I ever would have drawn a connection between these 2 games otherwise, but it reminds me of I hosted for Resident Evil 7 at one of the mainline events a little while ago, and one of the things that they've routed into that game now is you go very much like we're doing here, out of bounds, and just like collect items from later in the game, do a puzzle from 12 hours later in the game, and then you're back in bounds where you started.
So what I just did right there, speaking of out of bounds, was staircase skip. So there's just like a wall. I kind of just like maneuvered down and then back up and then back down around some walls that were just really just poorly placed walls. And that managed to get me down below. And the way that gravity works in this game is your acceleration actually changes over time. So if you fall for long enough, that's why you see me go back up. And we can use that to, actually it brought me up to the top door, and then I was able to go in that top door, and then the cutscene is scripted to have you come out the bottom, so that's why I still ended up coming out the bottom door. But let us skip having to do what we call the pit, where you fight the 3 different Koopas, and then have to get a key.
It's one of those fun things where if you don't run a ton of RPGs, you may not necessarily appreciate, or maybe you kind of intuit it from watching RPG speedruns, is that they tend to have a lot of checks built in where it's like, hey, if the player got to this point, they ostensibly have this item, or they must have come in from this way. So when an event flag, something that makes something like about game progression happen, when the flag is finished, it will typically assume, okay, we need to put the player at this location with these items and that sort of stuff. So it's fascinating watching speedrunners figure out where those flags are, what they do, and then use them to their advantage.
Yeah, and it's not as important to understand the nuance in this category, but this game does have 2 different main methods of doing that. The primary one that we're manipulating throughout the whole game is the story. We call it the story value, which is just one value that's basically just like a number going up saying where you are in the game's story. Can only have one value at a time, so you're only ever at one point. And there's just a whole bunch of hard-coded things in the game that advance it. Luckily, they mostly work to our advantage, and in this category, I think we exclusively make it go forward. But it's very useful in other categories, letting you revert your story progress so that you can do things out of order, which is often faster.
Yeah,
and there's also
especially in
flags.
all cards, like there are some, like I can roughly estimate like a chapter in glitchless will take about 15 to 20 minutes. But like in a run like all cards, that gets reduced down to like less than 10, usually sometimes 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's very fast. Just because everything's already in a completed state, like all these puzzles and key items you don't have to get, so you just walk forward.
Yeah, it's really nice. All right, coming up on, we got everything that we needed to in chapter 1, so now I am going to be doing log skip so that we can make our way to chapter 2.
This is another instance of loading zone stores that I mentioned a minute ago. So what J-Cog's gonna do is, there's this animation playing near the bad shop here. A a piece of furniture, work, whatever, is going to fall over, and this guy Ralph is going to push it back in place, and we can abuse that to clip out of bounds with that hammer clip we did earlier, like on Black Toad Skip. And now Jacob's going to line up on the seam here to fall out of bounds to clip the loading zone for just a frame, and then that'll just set her angle when she flies back to the other side. To when she spawns in, she will just take the load zone and fly underneath the floor. And now we're past the logs that you're supposed to beat chapter 1 to skip.
Yep. So kind of a lot just happened there. Morph, explained it, but so it's kind of hard to see what was going on there. So yeah, basically I fell off, and then as I was shooting up, you couldn't see it, but off screen, I went above the loading zone, storing it. And then there's I believe it's 1,000 frame timer if you've been out of bounds for like falling for 1,000 frames, the game will warp you back to your last known location on ground. And by that point, I was holding left, so I immediately fell off out of bounds again. So I was only on the ground for a frame. And then when I landed back in bounds, I was really far to the left relative to the loading zone. And so in this game, whenever you enter a loading zone from like the left or right side, there's kind of like a little animation thing where it'll have you in the next room coming from that direction. But we can abuse that with LZS to be coming from really far to one side. And I was so far that it was out of bounds, and then I fell past the logs, basically.
All right, chat, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to clip that explanation. And when this run hits YouTube, either on the GDQ YouTube channel, Games Done Quick, or youtube.com/Games Done Quick, or on JCog's channel, I want you to take that Twitch clip and I want you to loop the part of the run where she does the trick until you understand how the trick worked. Because I'm definitely going to have to do that myself.
It's one of the more complicated tricks to wrap your head around what's going on. But once you get it, it honestly, it's one of the best examples of in speedrunning of understanding why you're doing what you're doing in a trick, making it much easier to do, I guess.
Yeah, it's hard to visualize at first because half of it is happening off screen, basically.
Yeah.
But once you get an idea of like what angles you have to hold and where Mario's flying, it starts to make way more sense.
Oh my god.
Ooh, this cleft. Oh, this cleft.
Oh boy.
I'm just gonna. It's fine. It's a little bit of time loss. I'm supposed to first strike this guy so that we kill the cleft, and then I can take out the mole with the power jump. We're just gonna take him out the normal way.
Yeah, this guy only has 3 health. It's not too bad. That cleft can go really far.
He really can, yeah. And he didn't. I started too far to the right, so he didn't see me right away like I wanted. But we're mostly doing this just for the level up, so we can get the FP for a fight. Also the coins, though. Right, and then another trick, if you could explain it more.
Here's the first consequence of skipping Paracarry here is we need to get this magical seed here. You saw Jaycog pick up another one in Toe Town just a minute ago.
Oh my god.
And what Jaycog is doing is she's remapping her control stick to make Mario walking slightly down and to the right. And what that'll do is it'll push Mario into this little, very tiny corner. And if you position Mario just right, you can spin. And after spinning, immediately hold left to fall out of bounds. And you'll fall into that rock. And then you can get to this bubble here out of bounds.
Yeah, that seed from the bubble is the primary reason we even came to this chapter. We're not getting Paracarry. We're also going to get the Whack-a-Bones while we're here, just because they're just a really good item. But the main thing is the seed.
Bubble here out of bounds.
Sorry, Wacka fans. We are not done either. We need a third one. So, how many coins do I have? I need 50 before I leave here. All right, need 2 more. There are 3 on this slide here, so I'll go ahead and grab them. Actually, I wonder if it's... I'm not going to do it now. I wonder if it's faster to just get 1 from the slide and get 1 from the bush. I don't know, probably not. But anyway... All right, we now have... What? Yeah, we have 2 seeds. the Caesar would allow us to enter chapter 6, which is what we're working toward. But in the meantime, I got 50 coins, which is enough to buy Speedy Spin, which will make my spin both faster and go farther. And it is RNG, so there are 4 badges that can be in the badge shop right now, and we need one of them. So there is a 25% chance that it is the badge that doesn't show up. So anytime it doesn't appear, we can reset the shop by going 2 rooms away and coming back. So it's about like a 25 time second loss. 25 second loss. Words are hard. Every time I don't get it. So hopefully we get it first try. And if we do, I'm immediately going to be going into one of the most famous tricks in this game. Okay, good. We got it in the best spot too.
Nice.
And you'll see immediately how much faster I am. All right, but I'm gonna do blue house skip now. Just gonna, hang on. Okay, I'll take second try. All right, so basically what I did there, there is a wall on the side that is angled. And angled walls in this game, if you jump at them at the right position, like with the right spacing, you will actually be able to stand on them as though they were floors. Oh, get a little mixed up there. You can stand on them as though they're floors. The one here is you can only stand on it for a frame because the wall perpendicular to it will actually push you off the next frame. But if you get a frame perfect jump there, you can just jump through the ceiling, basically.
Nice. Yeah, I think our first 35 minutes or so here has been a pretty good example in how many parts of level geometry are kind of just suggestions.
Yeah.
Especially when equipped
Absolutely.
with the right tools.
All right, using power bounce here to count. Right now. Okay, so he has 30 HP, should have 10 HP left, assuming I didn't miscount. We are guaranteed at least 8 bounces with power bounce against Blooper, so. And I got 1 less than I needed, which is why I swapped to Goombario here. Do the last 1 damage. And fun fact, that is actually the only time we're going to be using Power Bounce in this run, which is very strange for me as a runner. You definitely use it a lot more, like if I was going for a PB attempt, because it's useful with some late game stuff.
Okay.
But in order to make this category safe for a marathon setting, we will not be using it anymore.
Are there issues with like getting off on unusual patterns with bosses or like HP underflows?
Yeah.
What are the dangers there if you use it
So
in
the
other
usual
parts?
strategy is for the endgame bosses is to use super jump charge. And so you charge up a bunch and you put all of your attack basically into, pray that the one attack kills him pretty much. But it's RNG how many bounces you can get. You can actually tell. You can tell if you messed up the bounce, or if the game capped you. Basically, if it caps you, you still fly back in an arch. Whereas if you mess it up, you just kind of fall to the ground immediately.
Got it.
And yeah, Bowser likes to give you fewer bounces than you need a lot of the time. So.
It's kind of like routing Super Mario RPG over, expecting to get a certain number of super jumps later into the game where you could probably put yourself in a real bad place if it doesn't work out that way. And then
absolutely.
Turns.
Absolutely. And I'm not super knowledgeable about SMRPG, but I believe in that game, at least if you don't get enough jumps, it's like a skill issue, right?
Yeah, technically, it's all the way up to 100. Like, there's only one hard cutoff, and that's if you get 100, which is the maximum number of super jumps you can get. The frame window gets smaller each gosh, I don't remember the number off the top of my head. I wasn't expecting to need to talk about this, but it's every like 8 to 12 jumps. It gets very slightly shorter until I think around 50, where it reaches the shortest it can be for the remaining number of jumps.
Okay, that sounds familiar. I very briefly ran the remake, any percent, but okay. Coming up here, and I'm gonna save here. Shouldn't be necessary, but there is a small chance of soft lock here if I mess up. So we're gonna be doing seed duping now, which we alluded to earlier. And it starts with getting sushi glitch. I think that was a little. Oh, okay, that actually ended up being really good, even though it was kind of jank. So basically, to start with here, I'm getting sushi glitch, which lets me swim in the land. And what I did there is I got into a very specific position and then set my internal angle to 1 such that basically we're just making the game miscalculate where to put you whenever you hop on sushi. So that you go in the land. And the game doesn't really treat land any differently than water. It's just usually the game doesn't let you mount sushi unless you're, it's in a place deemed water.
Right.
So
it's like swimming in Pokemon.
Works.
You have to be on the right tile for it.
Yeah, there you go. So I can just like dive underneath signs and stuff. And so I am doing this to go into the forest here. We're going to be making our way to the room where the last bubble we'll be talking to is. And so what we need to do is we need to be able to move while talking to an NPC. And so the way that we're going to do that is the game, they sort of programmed what happens whenever you encounter an enemy while riding sushi. You're not really supposed to be able to do that, so they didn't like fully. The game behaves very strangely, basically. So
Right.
I can get my cutscene value into a state it's never supposed to be by encountering this fuzzy twice, and then it kind of complicated what's really going on under the hood. But basically, it's I can pause and unpause to be able to do actions in weird states. And so I can start by going over here, do a magical real quick. And so I can just kind of spin and fall through there, and then pause, and I'm talking to this bulb while being able to move. And so then I can get this seed. So I just got the seed. I actually got it, but I didn't actually finish the conversation. So the flag that says that we talked to this NPC never got set. So I can just come right back to him, talk to him again, and get another one.
Nice.
And you can actually chain that. In other categories, we do more than 1 seed dupe. So you can just keep doing that over and over. Just go back and get sushi glitch again and set the whole thing up. But the reason that we did that, I now have 4 seeds, 2 of them duplicates. And the game here, so you plant these seeds, you talk to Minty, you plant the seeds, and on the last one, the game will see that we have 3, you do need to have 3 unique seeds planted, and the game will just see like, oh, you have 3 seeds planted, you're planting a 4th one by the process of...
It must be the other one.
It must be the last one you don't have. And so you can see we got 3 different flowers planted, and then I give her this one again. She plants it in the exact same spot as the previous one. And the game's just like, yep, you can now enter Forever Forest. Or, Flower Fields. Wrong alliteration with F.
Hey, I mean, they're all good alliterations, and one that's particularly germane right now, considering that both Frost Fatales is coming up very soon, March 8th to the 14th, benefiting the National Women's Law Center, and that you are also running on our other channel, GDQ TV, right now. I saw some comments in chat that I didn't recognize the context of earlier. Somebody said, I wonder if 2026 J-Cog will beat 2024 J-Cog. And I was like, wait, what? And then I looked at GDQ TV, and you're also over there right now.
This category is about an hour faster than that one. That one I did run all cards. All right, so this one, we're going to do some LZS jumps again. Hopefully. They are frame perfect. Okay, I'll take that. All right, so that was a very similar thing to log skip, except with jumps, actually doing the jumps this time. And so basically the same thing. I got to a specific point where my skew in the next room was enough that I just fell out of bounds in the next room, and then I'm able to land on the out of bounds seam, which is basically like I'm still on the floor, but the wall is far forward enough that it doesn't actually push me back in bounds. And so we can just skip most of Chapter 6 and get straight to the part where we fight and get Lackluster, who is the most broken partner in the game by far.
Looking for
Lackluster. I thought that's only. I thought it was Spike.
Well, yeah. Yeah, so the game, his name is Lackluster in all the menus and stuff, and then, but he's just like, no, call me Spike. And so us as speedrunners, obviously, we call him Lackey, because, it just follows. Actually, don't know why we did that, but people were calling him that before I started speedrunning, so.
This fight is,
Blocks.
this is an interesting fight in this category, and I guess just most runs now because of how early you get to Chapter 6. This is a Chapter 6 enemy, and we're still only level 2.
Yep.
And Lackey has 50 HP. And all of these blocks that JCOG is hitting right now is really important. Lackey unblocked deals 4 damage, and we don't have a life shroom at this point. So
yeah, that's why I
super imperative.
Just in case I miss a block and die. I shouldn't, but there's a chance.
Saved while we got a couple of extra wacka drops.
Yeah. We only used 1 against him, but. Oh, wait, no, that's not what you do. Got this shooting star for a reason.
But yeah, Sushi being she's the second to last partner you get in this game. She has pretty good damage output. Similar to Paracarry. Rest in peace, fallen soldier.
Rip.
She's just a little bit slower just because belly flop and squirt take a bit more time to do action commands, but she does pretty much the same damage as him. So she fills in a good slot here.
Yeah, and doing the same damage as Mario is right now.
Yeah.
All right, nice fight.
Thank you. As you can see, we had just enough to beat him. I'm at 1 HP and no FP. I had more items, but we need those later. All right, and we are going to be going straight into the next trick, which is Clippy Boots. And now that we have all the partners that we're going to be getting for the run, I need to upgrade my boots to Ultra. So we are, and I don't have, notably, I have not and will not be upgrading my hammer. So we are gonna make our way to the sewer. Also gonna avoid this Bazap, because if I get first struck by him, I will die. And I don't have any life shrooms. Well, luckily, there's consistent movement past him. I'll go ahead and save here.
This is the other big part of seed duping is because we pretty much skipped beating Chapter 5. We don't have a hammer upgrade now. So when we used to get Ultra Roots, we would just have the Ultra Hammer. So we would just walk in and break some blocks and then leave. And now we need to do a pretty precise trick. A set of tricks, to be honest. It's a lot going on in one instance. But what JCOG's going to be looking to do basically is she's going to mount Lackey and encounter an enemy, a Spiny and a Dark Koopa, and she's going to try to time her C right press to open the partner menu specifically on the second frame that the battle transition scene starts.
All right, not first try. Frame perfect yet again.
Yeah, 1 frame to hit this, and being able to tell how you failed this trick can be a little ambiguous. Just because Mario's hurtbox on Lackey is a lot smaller, and the enemy is constantly moving away, and then he curls up into a ball, so he gets smaller. It's just very weird.
Many runs die here to, any number of the different things that are happening right now. I'm gonna let him. I could have gone again, but yeah, I don't want to get first struck here, and because if I get first struck, I die.
Yeah, the awkward part about this specific Clippy, we're gonna do this twice. This one is really awkward because we're trying to get Clippy off this spiny here, but if we drag him too far to the right, the other spiny in the corner is going to be waiting there, and he will absolutely just run into you and just kill you. So now we have Clippy, and we can do some movement that is definitely not intended. Because of Mario dismounting Lackey while in that state, he still retains the smaller hurt box that he gets while riding Lackey. And we're going to abuse that again here to skip the Ultra Block. This one will be a little bit more awkward compared to that one, the first one we just did, just jumping through the wall, basically.
So is Clippy the state that you get into by doing this trick? Is this one of those things that's just easier to understand by seeing it than to necessarily describe what the state does and doesn't let you do that you normally wouldn't do?
Yeah, it's pretty noticeable once you have it.
Right.
Once you have the state, if you just mess around with it, like you start just kind of getting really close to walls in ways that feels strange.
You get stuck.
Yeah.
You get stuck very often. And like Mario will just like half clip his face into a wall when he's not supposed to. And that right there, we put Lackey in a specific spot next to the block with our movement, and once we jump upwards and we start moving the control stick up, the whole series of inputs with like maneuvering the control stick, we want to press C down in a way where Mario is like aligned close enough to like the middle of the archway and his angle is close to up, and for some reason that teleports you to Lackey, and I think they just both run into each other. It's like it takes Mario's X and Z position and Lackey's Y position, and that somehow gets you just straight through the block.
Yeah, basically we get to the other, like the left side of it, and when it pushes you out, it pushes you into the loading zone, pretty much. All right, and so now you may notice that we are heading into the Chapter 5 volcano, even though we were just in Chapter 6. And so instead of beating Chapter 6, because there's no more just like clipping into later chapters, they're all locked pretty tight. What we're gonna do here is called a Peach Warp. And so the game is in a Chapter 6 state right now, which means it considers the volcano beaten. There's no boss here. Well, technically there's a boss here, but so it's out of bounds, don't worry about it. It's not gonna make us fight the boss. And so what we are gonna do, it does try and prevent us from getting down to where Lava Piranha is with a pool of lava, but we are gonna use Lackey to clip behind it and then get to the escape sequence. And they just assumed, since they blocked it off, that you would never be able to get there. And so the game, whenever you make it to the end of this chapter, it just plays the sequence as though you actually were in Chapter 5. And then whenever you get to the end, the game is just like, yes, you just beat the chapter you're in, which normally is Chapter 5, but in our case is gonna be Chapter 6. All right, do a clip there, just
the flag just says chapter clear. It doesn't specifically say Chapter 5 clear.
Yeah, and that's unique to this area.
Interesting.
Yeah, because all of the other, like normally when you touch like a Star Spirit card after beating a boss, you immediately get taken to, sorry, I'm just like doing all these tricks in the background as I, come on.
Yeah, this is a Lackey teleport. Pretty much you're mounting and then dismounting immediately and walking away from Lackey. And on one frame, Lackey will try to fly back to you, but if you press C down, he will just zoom you through the wall.
Yep. The game calculates your position. It's like, with Lackey going this fast, you should be on the other side of the wall. So that's where it puts us. And the reason we have to do that is there's like invisible walls in that area where if you just try and walk through the area, you'll actually soft lock and get trapped. So we have to get past. Also, Lackey, you've seen me a couple times now just hop on Lackey in a corner and clip through the wall. That's just another thing that Lackey can do.
Corners are freedom.
Lots of miscalculating positions.
I like that we just put a chest in a chest over there.
Yeah, just normal things. If you missed it, don't worry. We'll be doing it again. We have to quote unquote beat chapter 7 as well.
Yeah, so Jcog mentioned a minute ago how there's no more clipping into chapters, and it had me thinking, like, there is a running theme here. Like, these last few chapters, you can only access them by clearing, quote unquote, with what we're doing with Peach Warping, clearing the chapters, so chapter 6 and chapter 7. Both of them notoriously locked behind doors.
Yeah.
Doors are very difficult to deal with. They're just impossible.
Yeah, you might think, like, especially if you're familiar with, like, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, like, oh, just clip behind the door, right? You can clip behind a lot of doors, and you'll just stand there.
It just does nothing.
Yeah, the changing the room with doors is specifically tied, like, the script for that is specifically tied to interacting with the door, so you can't just clip past them. Only regular loading zones work for that.
It's why Seed Dupe was such a huge find for this game, because there was no other way of getting into chapter 6 without getting all 4 seeds.
Yep. Also, super luckily here, so this is the first time that we've controlled Peach, like, you know, for the first post-chapter 6, or first Peach cutscene. And if you've played this game before, you'll remember that after the volcano, you get the sneaky parasol that lets you, you know, as I'm doing, transform into enemies around here. Luckily, the game just gives you that whenever you do the chapter 6 one. You don't actually have to get it from chapter 5. So that's really lucky. That could have, you know, if they had just decided to program it a little bit differently, that could have screwed us over a little bit, but luckily it doesn't. But also, unfortunately, we do have to do this Peach cutscene, which is the longest one. Well, actually, the cake is probably the longest, so second longest one. But yeah, no known way to skip this one, short of using Ace to credits warp, but it's not too bad. Also, I like, it saves like a second or something like that, half second, I can't remember. The Koopa Troll that I copied, I just did it like right in front of him. There's a window, the parasol is a little bit longer than his vision, so kind of funny. All right, cool. And then it's just holding B from here. All right.
During the time we have in this cutscene, why don't we talk a little bit about, you know, connect with the people on the casual playthrough of Paper Mario. Do either of you have a favorite companion, you know, outside of the speedrun? Somebody that you like because of the story?
As a kid, I really liked Watt. It wasn't really from the story. It was more just, as soon as I realized that her basic attack ignores defense, she was it's like Watt all the way.
There's like 3 enemies she can't deal with, and one of them is like this chapter boss and some embers. Like, she is so useful.
She's so good. Which is a shame we don't get her, but you know. Although
for me, go on.
Sorry, sorry. I was going to change the topic slightly.
For me, it's probably still Lackey. I think the whole introduction of Lackey trying to be like a rebel and then just pretty much just getting told off by his girlfriend to knock it off is really funny to me and very endearing. And he looks cool. Kind of sucks he's not very good in battle, but I do like Lackey a lot.
Although he's kind of seen a comeback in this category with Cloud9 existing. We won't be using it for this route, but usually you end up fighting, like the newer routes use Lackey in the endgame fights because of Cloud9, which gives you a 50-50 chance to avoid attacks. And so he's pretty useful for that. The
other one it's not as notable, or like you wouldn't notice immediately, But the hallway Bowser fight using timeout, because he deals 3 damage with spiny flip consistently, it just makes you don't need a second power bounce or you don't need a big power bounce cap to like win the fight. I remember that used to be a thing with Paracarry where you could get timeout to work, and then you got 3 cap.
Chance, by the way, 70% chance for the run to die.
Yeah. As if that wasn't bad enough, there was just like, I forgot the odds of a 3 cap, but then it was also like, if you get only 3 bounces on hallway Bowser, you still have to reset because there's no coming back from that. And Lackey gets rid of that being a possibility. Just doing so much damage for free.
Actually got the movement there. Nice. But yeah, we're just doing the exact same thing again. A Peach Warp. We're now in a post-Chapter 6 state, or Chapter 7. It's Chapter 7 enough that the game will be like, yes, you are beating Chapter 7.
It's interesting we didn't even have to talk to Merlin here, because that's what you usually have to do to initiate the getting the door to open to Chapter 7.
Yep.
So another Lackey teleport here.
Just fall out of bounds, pass all the problematic walls. And luckily, there's no, like, the cutscenes that usually play out there don't, so save a little bit of time there.
Nice. And as we're finishing one of these chapters again, I think we're also just about reaching the hour mark. So if there's a good
I was
place
about to say.
Take a break in the near future here, whether it be, just on the
Do
other
we just
side
want to do
of
it
our
as
cutscenes.
the save prompt up here comes up?
Sounds good.
Maybe just a second. Got the double chest again.
Triple chest now, I
Triple
suppose.
at this point.
Yeah, true. All right.
All right, very good. So as we do in longer runs here on the Hotfix, we're going to take a quick wellness break. So if you need to get up, stretch your legs, get something to eat, take your medication, or hydrate, please feel free to do so now and come on back for more. Welcome back to Out of the Box on the Games Done Quick Hotfix. My name is Atitri, and there is lots more Paper Mario to go here. So with no further delay, let's get back to it with Jcog.
All right, so 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so we just did our second Peach Warp. So the game is like, you must have beaten Chapter 7 because that's where you were when you got to this section. And this one is just a cutscene, not too long. So just holding B through it.
If for some reason you do Peach Warp a 3rd time, the game soft locks.
And it's so tragically close to beating the game, but it doesn't. Because that room, if it were, whenever you enter a room, there's like different entrance values, which either control like which loading zone you come from, or they also control which cutscene plays. And it plays, I believe, 4, whereas if it was entrance 5, the castle would start exploding and playing the epilogue. And it would successfully get to the end, but it doesn't do that. You just stare at the castle forever.
Yeah, it's just Peach and Bowser's castle just floating there. I think it's just in silence. There's no music playing or anything.
Yep, just in silence.
Well, yeah, if you're not in a chapter, how does it know what music to play?
It's true. All right, so as you can see, we're now outside Crystal Palace, and we have all the Star Spirits now, and our story progress is set to exactly what we need to be able to enter Chapter 8, and so that is what we're going to do. We're going to pick up a bunch of stuff on the way. So first, I'm going to grab a Mega Jump here, which will be used exactly once, but it is useful. Going to grab some items out of these pillars. We're going to say something?
I was just going to say, like, you can think of this run in, like, 3 separate segments just because of the way it's laid out. You just have prologue, not Chapter 8, and then Chapter 8. Chapter 8 takes so long to get through.
It really does.
It is by far the longest chapter in this game. Fittingly.
Yeah. All right, also, rare sight in speedruns, upgrading Goombario. Usually he's not particularly useful, except in some really niche areas, which I guess this qualifies as he makes the junior fight safe, with being able to charge. Lets us avoid... It's really useful in a lot of fights in this game to deal as much damage at once as you can, because then you can avoid more problematic boss phases that are triggered by them being at a certain HP value. So nice to just skip that entirely. I picked up a repel gel there, which makes you invulnerable for 2 turns.
Yeah, very, very good item to have considering we just don't have bow. And we don't have a lot of ways or a lot of resources to just keep reviving forever and ever.
Right.
There's only so much money we can get.
You can only get so many life shrooms, and even life shrooms to a point, especially whenever we get to Bowser, stop being helpful because Bowser likes to heal if you have a lot more HP than he does. So you also want to stay at low HP, which a repel helps us do.
Yeah, Jaycog has a lot of very specific items to help her get through the rest of the game. And it's just like a bunch of repel gels, FP healing items, some life shrooms, some attacking items because the chapter 8 enemies are pretty defense oriented besides like the magic Koopas. And they have a ton of health.
Still at level 2. We've only leveled up once.
Yeah, if the experience of leveling up and vertical progression and getting stronger is one of the things you like about RPGs, I'm sorry. this run may not have been your cup of tea so far. There will be some level ups, so
there will be.
Look forward to it.
There will be. It's true.
Yeah, we did upgrade Bombette in the sewers before leaving Chapter 7. That gives us Power Bomb. For 6 FP, we can deal 6 damage to everything on the ground, which is pretty good. Considering no enemy ever gets past 2 digits of health.
Yeah. Plus, it also gives her 1 more base attack, which is also used. Bombette is going to be our, for most of the rest of the fight, it's going to be our primary partner for dealing damage. Gotta get past these embers. All right, good.
Nice.
But yeah, just making our way to chapter 8. Trying to think if there's anything else that we haven't covered or that we skipped over.
Sure. I can think of a thing or two that probably shouldn't be skipped. Like, if you didn't hear about Frost Fatales coming up just later this week and into this weekend. We're also, GDQ will be at PAX East at the end of this month with a schedule coming out later this week. You can use !FF in chat to learn more about Frost Fatales and !PAX for PAX East. And GDQ is also hosting the second Transgender Day of Visibility celebration from March 22nd and 21st and 22nd. You can use !TDOV in Twitch chat to learn more about that. Lots of very, very cool events not to be missed. And, if you are watching here or over on YouTube, obviously on YouTube, you won't be missing the rest of this run. You know exactly how much longer it's going for. But, if you're over there, please consider liking, subscribing, becoming a channel member to support GDQ there. You can also do the same by subscribing to the channel here on Twitch because things like subscriptions, gift subs, and bits help keep our shows running. If you enjoy the stream and you're not able to do that, you can always support the stream by sharing the Games Done Quick channel with your friends. We're enjoying a nice ride with our friends here in Chapter 8.
Yeah.
In the bathtub.
In the bathtub. I don't know where that came from. But
Me neither. Because it doesn't really look that much like a bathtub.
Not really. But it is the bathtub, regardless.
Yeah, that's just what it's going to be forever.
I'm just going to save here. Because honestly, I can't think of any reason why I would need that save. But better to have it than not.
Maybe when, if your arm falls off doing power bomb here in a second.
True.
And then the guys call for backup because they can do that.
Yeah.
Very annoyingly.
All right, and then this fight is a required fight. They have a key that we need. No way past it. otherwise. But luckily, now that we have Power Bomb, combine some items, pretty easy to deal with.
Yeah, that thing I mentioned earlier about doors being a problem for speedrunners to get around in this game, that is all this chapter is. It's part of the reason this takes so long to get through.
Yeah, we could get behind, like, that door specifically. We can clip behind it, but... I mean, I don't think it would be faster, but we could, but it wouldn't do anything. All right, so we do have to trigger this trap here. All right, I'm going to be grabbing some items. I'm going to be preparing for an item dupe to get a second repel. I shouldn't actually need it, but I'm mostly just doing it for backup, just in case I miss a Bowser block or something. Nice to be able to have a little bit more leeway to improvise.
Yeah, Bowser in this game, like when it comes to speedruns, or even just casually, he is not a free fight. That fight is genuinely just hard.
It really is, yeah. And the fight is actually harder with the safe route than it would be in a PB attempt because I have to hit more blocks. Like, there's actually more going on. We're trading, getting more consistency by adding more difficulty. All right, so I'm gonna dupe on this life shroom. We're gonna open, that should be good. Okay, good.
Nice. The camera here is really weird.
Yeah, also laggy. All right, so if you see, I open my, you see 2 repel gels there in my inventory now. Basically, we got kind of like your item menu, what you see and what internally you have kind of gets out of sync there with you eating items with the partner menu open. And so whenever I toss a repel, it actually deletes the tasty tonic that was above it, but still throws the repel away from you. And so that's like a different repel and you can pick it up. And then here we're gonna do what's blockless clip.
The final consequence of skipping paracarry. So there's a lackey teleport that we can do here with some very precise positioning. We can use the hammer here.
Nice. Okay.
Ooh,
really good.
smooth.
Really, getting that first try is really good. Okay.
This guy.
And while people put some appreciation in the chat for just how smoothly that went, I'd also like to recognize
that was really good.
Somebody who just redeemed 500,000 channel points to use the orb command in our chat. Thank you for all your time watching GDQ.
Okay, and then in this room, I wouldn't usually do this in like a PB attempt, but if you're tasked, it's faster. You can kind of just like clip into these stairs. You can see why I don't usually go for it. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
You can just walk into them and fall up top. It's faster if you do it like perfectly.
it's like the arguments in Super Mario 64 on whether it's faster to clip through when you're going upstairs, to clip through the ceiling, or just do the jumps normally.
It's really funny too, because that exact room gets repeated again later, and it is not faster to do it there.
Yeah. So
Weird.
they did something differently, even though the rooms, as far as I know, are otherwise identical.
Oh, is it that it's not possible in the next version of it?
As far as I know, it's impossible. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So this is fast flood room. Kind of got. I don't know why Lucky does that. Sometimes.
I've always blamed the camera.
Sure.
But this is when I said corners mean freedom here with Lackey, this is a big part of it. Lackey gets a lot of usage here, and for some reason using Lackey to go through that wall that just fell down just clips you out of bounds. It's really weird. And we're gonna do something called a Cooper super jump, where when you fall out of bounds, if you don't press the A button to jump but use Cooper instead, you'll just retain the momentum you got from flying out of bounds and just shoot straight up into the air.
And use that to get a key. And luckily you come back down in bounds. Also going to do our first instance, I think it's the first instance, of just fighting some extra enemies for a bit of experience. Don't want to level our HP here. Luckily this fight is like really fast. Just get it level up right away. And then I'm going to do cannonless, which is another laggy clip, but it's a really precise one. Gotta get in a really specific position, which I think that should be good.
Yeah, it's something like, depending on the setup, you have to move up for 2 or 3 frames, depending on which one you do. And then just fall out of bounds, spin up, fall out of bounds again to land on this seam here.
Yep, let's just get around all the cannons.
And then this dry bones is annoying.
This guy.
He is my mortal enemy as of late.
Oh, that was close.
Nice.
That was close.
I'm sure that would have hit me somehow. Given recent
Are you
attempts.
sure it didn't already hit you, despite the fact that you're not currently running?
Probably. That might be true. But we've got the second guy we're going to take out here. This is a bunch of experience here.
Yeah.
This Hammer Brother.
More experience than we'll get from any other fight, actually. All right, but I'm gonna hit him with the power bomb to start. Fun fact, the dry bones there took plus 10 damage. For some reason, that's how they're programmed to deal with explosion damage. Usually it's just like, you know, like, I don't know of anything else that's plus that much damage. I don't know, just crazy to me.
Maybe it's like a
Since-
super old reference because you have super old reference to Zelda because you have to, at least in like, this is a stretch, but like in Link to the Past, you have to kill Stalfos with bombs.
Yeah,
To
I
actually
forget
kill
where you're
them.
Going when you said Zelda, I mean, you know, just think it through logically. If the bones don't have the meat on the outside holding everything in, and you blow them apart, they're just going to keep going.
Makes sense. I mean, you don't actually get, I believe you don't actually get experience from dry bones in this game unless you kill them with an explosion.
Oh wow!
So otherwise, they're just kind of
Right, you just knock them out. That makes sense. I guess
Yeah.
you know, it also makes sense in a way because it's an enemy you can't defeat by any other means. They really want to make it obvious when you've picked the right way to actually defeat a dry bones.
That's a good
So they
point.
put the big
Okay.
damage bonus on it.
Yeah. And then this quiz is the same every time. 1 1 2 1 1. And if you somehow mess one of those up, 3 2. So
Yeah, this is like the point in the run. It's like a pretty nice break from all
a little
the
bit of
hecticness.
yeah.
Like, especially now with blockless clip, like, I wouldn't say chapter 8 was easy before, but it was like, if you locked in for this door 2 segment doing cannonless and flood room, like, it wasn't that bad, but now you have just so much going on. That's like a really nice break to have.
Yeah, it used to be that like pretty much every run that made it to chapter 8 on pace at least got a chance to try the boss gauntlet at the end. But now, yeah, you can absolutely lose a run to like blockless clip or something. But, and I don't believe there are any more glitches. Yeah, we're coming up here on the getting close to the boss gauntlet. Some categories, or not some categories, I believe the optimal any percent route actually does, instead of doing an item dupe where I did it, it dupes a repel right outside the store. But
Yeah, to grab the
generally-
maple syrup.
yeah, but generally cannonless is the last glitch. I don't think there's any other glitches.
I don't think so, no.
Luigi skip, but
I was gonna say, yeah. Hotly debated.
true.
Some of the choices for things like what kind of item, you know, I know there's certain things like you don't want to go too far outside of what a younger player might expect to do things, but like the item choices for the kinds of things that do stuff like sodas in Super Mario RPG or a jar of maple syrup here in Paper Mario as your healing items, rather than your traditional, like, you know, like a kid doesn't necessarily know what a potion is. You know, in Final Fantasy, we understood the idea that yes, the potion restores health. What is it actually a potion of? How does one make a potion? No idea. But maple syrup, yeah, you probably have some of that. It's just a very fun series of thematic choices that have. I wonder if they thought about the kinds of implications that would have on like Mario. It's like, okay, yes, now canonically Mario loves maple syrup, which makes him part Canadian, I think.
Can you imagine like just drinking a jar of maple syrup?
He downs it really fast,
He
too.
does. How does he even get it out that quickly?
I mean, maybe it's a matter of scale. If this is all like paper craft, maybe it's really just like a thimble full of maple syrup.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, true.
You make a solid point.
That is one of the things I'm here to do. Not often, but sometimes.
All right, making our way through the, I don't know, endless hallway, which is very same every time. All right, but here we're actually at the boss gauntlet now, and so we're starting with the Dupligos, which is
The what now? That's Princess
what?
Peach right there.
Okay, yeah, we're good. We can just leave now, right?
Hooray,
You
we
just
did
gotta
it.
go far enough away. Luckily, these guys, if we do it right, they kind of help us take care of them. Dupligos kind of have an insane amount of HP for a regular enemy, which I believe 15, right?
Yeah, it's the highest of any enemy in the game.
Yeah, but luckily, so I'm going to swap to Bummet here, and hopefully we get, ideally we get all of them to transform. 2, that's good. Oh, 3, oh, can we get all 4?
Actually,
No. All right.
the worst one. You gotta jump so far to hit this guy.
Yeah, but luckily all the other bombs get taken care of, and this is at least a bit faster than having fewer than one or fewer than one no transform, because otherwise we have to use a Starstorm, and Starstorm it's really good in terms of damage, but it's kind of slow. All right, so I'm gonna upgrade BP here, first BP upgrade. Use that to equip. Oh, sorry, Mega Jump. I'm gonna swap to Goombario. And now we're gonna fight Junior. Sadly, not the Koopa Bros,
Yeah.
but
So this is this fight is very annoying to route because there's never anything good that isn't just obviously pretty slow, and like this is going to be slower than what you would expect in like a PB attempt, but it is funny.
it is.
So Junior here has 60 health and 2 defense, which is pretty beefy.
It really is.
And he, throughout the fight, he cycles through all of his transformations that he's gone through that you've never seen in this run. But throughout the game, he has different points in fighting Mario and has different moves and attacks. He cycles through all of them as you damage him down. But we don't want to see any of those because we can't damage the flying one because he's spiked on his head. And then the magic one is just bad because he can start healing and he deals a lot of damage and it's just not good. So we're going to damage him down very subtly with Mario while charging Goombario. This is his super upgrade here. Mario's just going to handle all the damage to try and get Junior down to as much health as possible before we just finish him off in one big attack.
I was gonna say, if you're a Pokemon here, Pokemon fan out there in the audience, Goombario is just spamming Sword Stance, which doesn't seem to have the same +6 cap as it might in that game.
Just using a bunch of X special attacks or whatever.
Right.
It's called. Yeah.
Let's see, that's
All right,
funny. I would have
almost
figured
ready to
Goombario was a physical attacker rather than a magic attacker. Here's what I know.
And I'm specifically not timing that action command so that I don't deal, because if I did, it would do enough damage to put him to his next phase. And I'm making that up for that here with Mega Jump, the one time we use it, and then gonna finish him off with a head bonk that does 32 damage.
Nice.
We can have a little bonk as a treat.
Just a little, just a little.
Bonk him for more than half of his health, despite the not insignificant amount of defense.
Yeah, we went to 2 Whack-As bumps and an Ultra Shroom in that fight. So
Yeah, J-Cog was blocking every attack there. You didn't notice? This that fight with Junior, he deals 8 damage unblocked. And J-Cog just has to block every attack to not die.
yeah, luckily it's a pretty easy block. All blocks in this game are 3 frames, with one notable exception that still technically under the hood is 3, but in practice is 2.
Yeah.
But some of them are still harder just because, That one has a really fluid visual that you can follow it really easily. Whereas,
Notably, it's like a lot of projectile-based attacks that are awkward to block.
yeah, and like earlier when I was fighting Lackey, that one is also 3 frames, but the spiny that he throws goes off screen for a bit and then comes back on with momentum, which just makes it more. Oops, that's not the badge equip. There we go. Makes it more difficult in my opinion. All right, so I just equipped HP Plus and Power Rush. Power Rush gives us +2 damage whenever we're in danger, which is have 5 HP or less. And so we are going to be intentionally getting down to lower damage. Well, we kind of can't avoid it in this category, but going to be intentionally damaging down. And also the HP Plus helps us with the math. So both Hallway and Final Bowser are able to heal. The way that they, like what triggers that is whenever your HP percentage is, sorry, okay, yeah, making sure I was doing the right thing. Whenever your HP percentage is significantly higher than his, and so putting on HP Plus raises our maximum HP and makes it easier to stay out of that range.
Both of these fights coming up, and like Hallway Bowser and Final Bowser, a lot of when you're routing for this game, what your fights look like for these two will influence what just badges and items you pick up throughout the run. It has very long-lasting effects throughout the whole run, because these are the only fights that are very, I guess, dynamic in a sense, where there's nothing really consistent about them in that sense.
Yeah, most other bosses act like how I was saying with Junior, where they have different different phases depending on how much HP they have left. Bowser, both the Hallway and Final variant, do not act like that. Both of them just kind of have a set of moves that they cycle through with that's completely unrelated to how much HP they have left, with the exception of how healing works, how I said.
There are some some cases where if you buff Mario, there's a pretty likely chance he will wave after X amount of turns. But it's just a whole bunch of if-then scenarios with Bowser. So it's just a whole lot of routing you need to do way in advance to account for everything possible that can happen.
Okay, good. That's the move. I specifically want to block that with my partner. And it only has a 2-frame window because it overlaps with Mario's for 1 frame, and Mario's takes precedence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, missing that partner block is usually just a reset.
Yeah. All right, good. This was a good fight, though.
The thing that's rough too with Bowser is not all of his attacks deal the same damage, so it's another thing you have to account for. You probably want to account for how many times he's going to spam fire, because it's his most likely attack to use. It deals 7 blocked here, but then he can also do the butt stomp attack, which blocked does 5. But you always just have to account for all the max damage that he can do. It's just a whole bunch of lot of variables into these two fights that pretty much no other fight in this game gets close to at all.
Yeah, and that move, the wave attack, we call it, I believe it's Shockwave. I don't know if it's official, but anyway, not important. That move also, if you have any status changes, notably a super jump charge, that completely wipes it even if you block it, which is another thing that makes this fight normally very risky, and why with the safe route, we're not even bothering with charging. We're just going straight into the end with the same setup. Well, plus 5 FP from the level up. And this fight, so the fight normally is if you're going for a PB attempt, is fairly straightforward. You just kind of charge a bunch and use repel gels on key turns that he's most likely to use wave and take away your charge. And if all goes well, you do that, you power bounce with a bunch of charge and kill him. So if you're here, there's this giant, basically, flowchart that I'm going to be following that covers every single sequence of events, sequence of moves that he could do and what situation we could be in.
I don't think it came up in the hallway fight. He did do it on the turn he's supposed to. On the second turn of the hallway fight and this one, he will always do this star shield move, and he's not invincible in the hallway fight. You can break through it, but we're not strong enough to do that, so we need to get rid of it. In the second phase, he is completely invincible once he puts this shield on, and starting on the third turn, he has a chance of doing it. It's a 15% chance on the third turn, and every turn after, he has a 75% chance to just turn the shield on, and you have to just get rid of it immediately. And all of these different variations in the fight come down to this move.
Yep. Yeah, otherwise consistent. We can deal with any sequence of attack. I mean, we can deal with anything with this setup. And plus I have the extra repel gel in case if I miss a block and need to like stall at low HP or something, then I should be able to do that. But I shouldn't miss any. Fingers crossed. Also, there's this fight, which is it's a glorified cutscene.
Yeah.
It's real. I like it a lot casually, but in a speedrun, it's, you're kind of not really paying attention.
I do like the music here, though, this phase 1 music. So getting to hear more of it with this cutscene is always nice.
That is true.
Chad is suggesting with all these 15% chances, you might have a 15% chance to save 15% or more on your star insurance.
Oh my god.
You should pick up the phone now.
Thanks, I hate it. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a bunch of just star storms, jumps. I have a shooting star, and Bombett's going to be using bomb every single turn. We're going to go through up to, I think, 3 life shrooms that we have left. We're definitely going to be using 1 repel. And this ends up being like, depending on RNG, I think like between a 10 and 12 turn fight.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And JCog mentioned like that number of life shrooms. Like, this is a safe fight in the sense that it is consistent and you can always win it. But like, you really just cannot make mistakes even leading up to this point when it comes to the battles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised given that we're finishing the game at an extremely low level.
Yeah, we're at what, level 6, I want to say?
I think
We've got
5.
2 extra level. Or are we at 5?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Because you level on either the Bombshell Bills or the Hammer Brother fight, and then you level on Duplighost, and then on Hallway Bowser.
Okay.
But I think it's level 5.
Low is I think
Very
casually pretty typical is like in the low 20s. Max level is 27, so we are below that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe just a little bit.
Even across like all the other speedrun categories, the highest you ever end up in levels is level 12 in all bosses.
Okay. You said
So
that
we really
so high. Which it is. For a
It
speedrun.
feels really high in a speedrun, but it's just like, yeah, every other category doesn't have to do a million fights like this category does, but
Yeah,
we
no,
really just like scrape by with what we need, and that's it.
Yep.
Watch what Mario can do with a mushroom and 3 paper clips.
That's pretty much it.
Bowser
Yeah.
and save the kingdom.
All right, I'm gonna. You guys can keep talking, but I'm gonna focus on the fight.
Please do.
Yeah, so there's Bowser has a lot of different attacks he can do here. These first few turns he can only do this claw, butt stomp, or fire breath attack. And depending on the sequence of events here, get butt stomp first. I believe if he claws here, JCog has to not block this for health reasons to do a jump ×2 with Mario instead of Starstorm again. Because we do want to be in danger when applicable, and if we blocked the claw, we would be at 6 HP instead of 5. Alright, he did fire, did not matter. That fire attack is so scary. because it deals 9 blocked, and when you revive from a life stream, you only have 10 health.
Oh, jeez.
So if you miss that, you just straight up die. I've done so many runs of this game, and I still like tense up a little bit when he does that attack.
Yeah.
Because like you do need it in most circumstances to actually even win. Just him getting you to 1 HP, but it's just terrifying.
Right. On the one hand, yeah, this is my chance. On the other hand, all right, this is it.
But the name of the game of this battle is just like very slowly whittling him down, even casually. This is like a war of attrition, just like keeping up with Bowser's heals compared to your heals. Ideally, only Jaycock has to heal and Bowser never does, but it's just a really long sequence of back and forth damage the whole time. Like, the most gimmicky thing that Bowser has compared to other bosses is this Star Shield.
Yeah, so occasionally we have to dip back into the menu to remove that for him.
Yeah, compared to like Crystal King's cloning attacks or Puff splitting up into smaller clouds, you know? Things like that.
Someone in
Nice
the chat
block.
just went ahead and asked, what does no ace mean? And that does mean no arbitrary code execution, which is to say the Paper Mario is one of those kinds of games where the community has figured out how to take parts of the game and manipulate them by using controllers or other input methods to like change the values of those without necessarily playing the game. So you are doing things in a wholly unintended way and just manipulating or reprogramming Mario's position to the end of the game. So as you can tell from the fact that we're fighting Final Bowser here, we're not doing that today.
Using the shooting star there to get very specific damage values instead of Starstorm, which would do 7. At this point, though, we have like reached the point where Bowser is low enough HP that we can just kind of start not worrying about needing to use life streams. We can just kind of use these repel gels and just keep hitting him. He's at this point with our health, there's no chance that he heals as long as we do not die.
Right, because as you mentioned earlier, he's much more likely to heal when your health is higher than his. So as long as you don't go to 0 and therefore back to 10 with the life room, you're in a good place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's always a chance that he heals. The numbers in the code say it's 75% for him to heal every turn if it's available. It feels like 95, to be honest.
Yes, it's the XCOM syndrome where if the odds are you're trying to do something, 95% means 0%, and if the enemy is doing something, then 50% means it's guaranteed.
Yeah, of all the runs I've ever had in this game, I've had one single run ever finish with him just not healing for a turn.
Wow.
It's just it always happens.
All right, here's the
So
life
we've exhausted the final life shroom, but this is pretty much the last turn here. This will be a Starstorm here.
Yep,
And
this
he'll-
will take him out. He has 99 HP, by the way, and that it carries over from the first phase.
okay.
So it was actually worth attacking there. But that was the most typical fight with shields on turn 4 and 8, and also I hit all the blocks. So
Yeah.
we are good.
Very, very solid.
GG's.
GG.
Very well done. It's not actually GG's though. We still have the epilogue sequence.
Yeah, there's still like 6-ish minutes left, which is mostly holding B, but then a little bit of movement.
I don't expect we'll have any issues for that portion of the run, so I think we can all give you your GGs now.
Thank you. Yeah, there's nothing
Yeah.
that can kill it.
Very well done, I would say.
Yeah, short of like my console turning off, which has happened
Of
to
course it
Random
has.
Sauce before.
Oh, no.
It was definitely PB pace. I think it was world record pace. He's since beaten the time by a lot. It's fine. But
Sure. There are a few more things. There are a few things more motivating than something like that. The opposite of the solar beam that flipped the bit in the N64 Mario 64 run that one time.
yeah.
I think when that happened to him, he like immediately invested into a UPS and has since then still never needed to use it.
Sure, no, of course.
Oh my, of course.
But
of course.
you never know.
Yep, I've got one on my computer up here because I live in old construction up in the Northeast. So, you know, there's always the possibility of the snowstorm. And fingers crossed, I've been up here for about 3.5 years so far and I haven't needed it yet. But better to have it.
If you didn't have it, you would need it immediately.
Exactly. As with all the save points during this run. If you hadn't taken them, something would have happened.
Exactly. Didn't need any of them. But no, this went. There were some things that took me a few tries, but overall, I'm pretty happy with how this went.
I think you should.
The only one I really remember was like probably Junior Skip, but even that wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't great, but it wasn't like horrible. I think I did worse last night in practice. So. And then early Lackey was like, what, 3rd or 4th try, I think? It was pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah, very solid run. This run is... I used to say that this run was not that difficult years ago when seed dupe wasn't a thing. I think this run is really hard now.
Yeah.
Like, very difficult.
There's a lot less, like there's a lot fewer tricks than other categories, but the ones that you do have to do are some of the harder ones. And, you know, there's fewer tricks, so each one matters that much more.
Sure. But yeah, I appreciate that one of the difficult ones and one of the ones that really sets the tone is right up front in the first 10 minutes. So like, if you wanted to learn this run, you know, once you watch and understand how the routing goes and read into the documents, you have something that you can try in the first 10 minutes of running the game.
I wouldn't recommend starting with that.
Fair.
I am actually
giving it a try and seeing if you can do it like a couple of times in a row, you know? Not
just jump in the loading zone a couple times. Yeah. Get a feel. I don't think I ever said this game is 30 FPS, so it's not quite as bad as like a 60 frames per second trick. But I mean, you know, when you're having to do like 15 jumps in a row, there's a rhythm to it, but it's still a tiny window.
Sure.
I do think the hard part is definitely not the A press. It's more the control stick.
Yeah.
Very awkward.
Yeah, because you have to be, if you want optimal distance on your jumps, you have to be neutral on the frame that you hit A, and then immediately the next frame you have to...
all the way out.
Well, I guess you're hitting jump and the analog stick at the same time. But because if you don't do that, you can keep the chain going, but you'll barely get any
less
speed.
Distance, so more jumps needed. Yeah.
Yeah. Got to see Watt there.
Hey, look, we saved the Yoshis. I know people were worried about that earlier.
They're all fine. Don't even worry. Also, who's this guy delivering mail? I think we ran into him briefly.
Yeah, probably just like an NPC. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Yeah, I don't know that guy.
We met Colorado briefly on the island.
I do remember that spectacular mustache.
It does look really good.
Very good on him. It's a good look. All right. I lied earlier. Actual final trick of the game coming up right here. It saves, I don't know, 12, 8, something around 10 seconds in that ballpark. So for some reason, when you go down this pipe, it's supposed to just like you go down and then Luigi goes down and you come out then you come out of the pipe and Luigi says something and walks off. For some reason, you can just hold down on the pipe. It doesn't work in the intro of the game, but it does here. And if you listen, you'll hear like a double pipe sound. And then you just skip all the stuff with Luigi and can move immediately. Luigi skip. We're just running ahead.
And there goes Mario and not Luigi.
Not Luigi. He does not get to come to the party. He's got a parade. He's got a parade to conduct.
True.
Okay, and then time will be in like 30 or 40 seconds whenever Peach puts her hands in the air.
Yeah, just a bit more text, and once you see the frame for just hands up, that's time.
time.
GG's.
GG's.
Thank you. What was the final time?
I'm going to have it for you in just a few seconds. So it looks like it was a low 144.
I'll take that. With the safe route, yeah.
144.11.
Nice. Okay.
That's solid.
Definitely.
That is faster, I think, than both of the runs I did last night. So I'll take it.
Very nicely done.
Cool. And that's Paper Mario, any % no ace. Should we go ahead and like shout things out now, I guess?
Yeah, please do. I mean, because you ran through that so fast, you're far ahead of your estimate. Please feel free to take the time. I'm going to go ahead and link. I'm going to link the Paper Mario archives in the chat again for people who might have joined us later in the run, so they can take a look at that and talk about the resources and all of that. But please feel free to shout out whatever else you like.
Okay, yeah. And I wanted to make sure in case I died to Final Bowser. That's a huge time.
That's exactly
sink.
what I
just
figured that was for.
Yeah, just in case.
That backup takes like 6 minutes to get back.
Yeah, it's slow. But yeah, so you can mostly find me on twitch.tv/jcog. I don't have a specific schedule. I've been toying with making one. I don't know. But I stream in the evenings. I do a lot of Paper Mario. I'm planning, actually, I want to do it very soon. Don't quote me on this, but hopefully within the next week, I'm planning on making a tutorial for the beginner route of this category, which is pretty similar to what you saw, but all of the most difficult tricks, there are variations you can do that make them not super hard, and you level up a little bit more. So I'm going to be, I definitely will be making a video tutorial for that. You can also find me on Blue Sky, jcog.dev. Those are the two. So for Paper Mario speedrunning, we have we already mentioned Paper Mario Archives that got posted. We have a Discord. If you go to speedrun.com/pm64, you can find a link there if you want to get into this. We have really good resources for learning the game. We have a practice ROM that me and a team of people work on that's makes practice for this game so much easier than it was when I started. Like, can't even really describe how much easier. Is there anything else? Paper Mario? I think that's it. Morph?
You can find me on just about anything at Morpheus080. I've been streaming a lot of runs of this game again recently. I just got the any % record in this category like a month and a half ago or something. I'm slowly working towards that in all cards right now, which has been pretty fun.
Well, that's
He
awesome.
did just get a time that's 10 seconds off mine last night, so.
Congratulations on both the world record very recently and the continued improvement in all cards. But yeah, if you want to see more pushes for record and then record improvement, drop Morpheus a follow. And if you want to see more about the behind the scenes and how to get into the run yourself, definitely follow JCog and everything that she's doing at all of the previously mentioned socials, over on Twitch, over on Blue Sky. And consider getting into it yourself. This is definitely in like the top cut of communities with really well provided and presented resources. So that is one of the many reasons why I wanted to make sure to have this run on this show, because it really seems like, despite the fact that some of the individual tricks are difficult, the run and the community is super approachable.
Yeah, all the tricks you saw JCog do, like there are, like she said, variations that are way easier, or you just straight up don't even have to do some of these tricks, and you can just gloss over it for now and go back to it later. Very good speed game, I would say, for beginners. I think it's really good.
Yeah, definitely. And the community is very, very helpful. In the Discord, mostly if you need help, people, there were people asking for help just right before this run that were getting help, so.
Nice. Very cool. I also went ahead and linked that Discord, so take a look in the Twitch chat if you are watching us on Twitch. And in any case, whether you're watching us on Twitch or over on YouTube, if you're on YouTube, feel free to click around for more GDQ VODs. And if you are watching on Twitch, stay tuned for Creature Corner coming right up after the break.